kiss. It was with this gesture of friendship that one of history's greatest betrayals was sealed. And the name of the one who did it, nearly 2,000 years ago, became a byword for traitor: Judas Iscariot. He was one of Jesus' followers, but also the one who handed him over to his enemies. And in the end, he regretted it. Judas was one of the 12 apostles, a trusted man in the group. So much so that he was the treasurer, in charge of their money. In those days, following Jesus was dangerous. The religious leaders and the Roman soldiers were always watching, and any small disturbance could turn into an uprising. Judas saw up close the miracles, the teachings, and the clashes Jesus faced. Even so, his story is marked forever by a single thing: the betrayal. Picture the scene. Jerusalem was packed for the Passover festival. Streets crowded with people, Roman soldiers everywhere. Jesus had just arrived in the city and challenged the sellers in the temple. Because of that, the chief priests wanted to arrest him, but without attracting the people's attention. They needed an insider, someone who knew where to find Jesus at night, away from the crowd. Judas was that person. But why did he do it? To this day, people debate the reasons. The Bible says it was for money, 30 pieces of silver. The books of Luke and John also say that Satan entered Judas to show the power of evil at that moment. There are other ideas as well. Perhaps Judas was disappointed. He might have been expecting Jesus to be a warrior leader who would drive out the Romans. But Jesus spoke of a kingdom that is not of this world and of loving one's enemies. To Judas, that may have sounded like weakness. Some think he wanted to force Jesus to use his power when cornered. Others think he simply felt fear or grew tired of living under constant watch. None of these ideas removes his guilt, but they help us grasp the pressure he was under. At the Last Supper, Jesus warned, "One of you will betray me." Confusion swept the table. Even so, they went to a garden called Gethsemane. While Jesus was praying, Judas arrived with the guards. The sign to show whom to arrest was a kiss, a gesture of affection and respect used to hand someone over to their death. After the arrest, Judas disappears for a while. When he reappears, he shows his remorse. He tries to return the money, saying, "I have sinned. I have betrayed an innocent man." But the priests didn't care. Desperate, Judas threw the coins onto the floor of the temple. There are two accounts of his end. One says he hanged himself, another that he died tragically in a field bought with that same money. Either way, what was done could not be undone. But why did Judas betray Jesus? The 30 pieces were not a great fortune. Was it politics? If he wanted a revolution, did Jesus' path of peace leave him frustrated? And what about destiny? Jesus already knew he would be betrayed. If everything was part of God's plan, did Judas have no choice but to do what he did? Or could he have acted differently? That tension between the divine plan and human choice is what makes Judas such a striking figure. It's important to remember Judas wasn't the only one who failed. Peter denied knowing Jesus 3 times. The other disciples fled in fear. The great difference is what they did afterward. Peter wept, repented, and began again. Judas was consumed by guilt and saw no way out. In Christian history, Judas's betrayal was a necessary step for the crucifixion to take place. That doesn't make him a tragic hero, but it does show how people's wrong choices can become part of something much larger. In the end, Judas remains a huge question mark about guilt, destiny, and the possibility of forgiveness.